So back on the 2004 Chevy Silverado, 172,000 miles, paid $4 grand for it. It's in amazing condition. I've been driving this truck for several months and, well, reading on the interweb and just looking at stuff, there's an upgrade for the brakes, which is not expensive, pretty cheap, easy to do, no modding, and direct bolt on. So this is what we got. Looking at it from 2007 later models to, I forget whatever it is, but the newer body style compared to this one, not the brand new ones. They require some modding to get those big brakes working. But these came off of a 2008 Chevy Silverado. Got them at the local pick 'em pool for $20 for each caliper and bracket. They're in great condition, nothing's torn, they move nice and freely. Southern style, which means they have no rust or crust. And these bolt onto these trucks super simple, like plug and play. So I've already taken it off, 22 on the wheel. You need a T55 for the Torx, wherever it's at. Right over here to take off the caliper bolts. And 18 for these two for the brackets, and this slides right off. Now, if you're gonna do this, make sure you're running 17-inch rims. There are people who put 16-inch with bigger tires. Gotta have the 17-inch flavor. So popping these in, popping this off is very simple. Now, my brakes aren't terrible. Actually, I think who had this was Pad Slappers. As you can see, the pads are brand new, but the rotor is not in the best condition. It's actually warped, and yeah, I think one of the pads were sticking. These are, I mean, they probably could be resurfaced and reused, but if you look at it compared to the newer models, I mean, look at the difference that you're getting. There's a lot more. In fact, in comparison, these look like rear brakes of the vehicle compared to those. So these fit on, no modifications, don't have to take the brake cable off or anything like that. And now I dirty this. So that's what we're gonna do. Got these on the Rock Auto. These are the Wagners off of a 2008 model. Got them with the quiet stop pads. I like Wagner and I like Bendix. So I think I paid $100 for this kit. Not too bad. So now the first thing that we need to do is get this rotor out, just like so, which I already went ahead and dirty. Nice. These things are so much heavier. Might reduce my miles per gallon. But from what I read, the stopping is a lot better. And why not have bigger, better rotors? So let's go ahead, let's pop these in, and then we'll work on the rest. So I got the new rotor installed. It's good to take the lug nut and just kind of tighten it in right there to hold this in place. This is the caliper bracket for the new calipers. Got the new hardware in, lubed up the bottom, cleaned it up pretty nicely to make sure we have no rust jacking or anything like that. So far, everything is looking pretty good. Also cleaned these out, got rid of the old grease, put fresh grease in there. So we're just about ready to go. So now we're gonna take the new caliper and just go ahead and pop that in. So caliper is in. The easiest way to do it is just to leave this bolt in there because you have the slide pin, which I don't know where it's at. But anyways, you just kind of leave this one in. It slides right in through the pin. Then you can flip it down. And if you're familiar with these Chevys, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And then once you do that, slide it in, torque these into the bottom, make sure these are lubed. And as long as this is moving back and forth just like that, you're good to go. Now, if the pads are not sliding freely or, you know, this thing feels tight, you might want to start over. So as far as this, you have a couple of options. You can either use the bolt that came with the caliper or use the one that came with the bracket that came with the existing hose. I just used the original one. It works fine. I changed out the copper shims. And one thing to note is that this banjo bolt for the older model and from the old caliper, this banjo bolt from the old caliper and the new caliper is the exact same. Just go ahead and just change the copper shim. Cheap insurance. And what I'm doing now is I'm just letting it gravity bleed. As you can see right there, it's starting to ooze out a little bit. And then when the missus come in, she'll help me get her leg work out and she'll be able to help me bleed that out. So other than that, we're pretty good. And as you can see, proof of concept, the wheel is mounted and spins nice and freely. No rubbing, don't have to worry about no clearance. And so you can kind of see it a little better. Yep, plenty of clearance between the caliper and the rim. And now we got a cheap, easy big brake upgrade. Did I need new brakes? Yes and no. The brake rotors were warped, so I could have cut them for about $10, $15 a piece. The pads were practically brand new, but this is my truck. I want this thing to be 100%, so when I take it on long road trips, I don't have to worry about any headaches or anything failing on me. And considering that we spent $120 on new brake pads and rotors, and this is more beneficial if you do for a brake job, $20, just depending on your pick and pull, $20 for each caliper and bracket for each size, so $40. This is an easy upgrade. It will brake a lot better from what I read, and we'll go for a road test and I'll give you my opinions on that, but pretty nice upgrade. And as you saw earlier, the size difference, now we got more braking surface, so all that should work pretty good together. So I'm gonna go ahead, gonna knock out the other side. When the missus get here, we'll go ahead and we'll bleed this, and then we'll take it for a spin. And the results, it brakes a lot better. And I can imagine that it'll brake better if I was to change the rear brakes on my truck. So bled the system, bled the fronts and the rears, got rid of all that dirty fluid, which, you know, that could affect braking power too. And yeah, this thing just stops so much better. Now, as you saw, the other pads were pretty much brand new. The rotors were slightly warped, but this thing just grips so much better. It doesn't require much stopping power. So nice upgrade. So for about what, $120 I paid for the rotors and the pads, and $40 for both calipers. Pretty nice upgrade. So if you're looking to change your brakes, this is something to consider if you have this model of this Chevy Silverado. Real easy, bolt on. Now I know the newer models, you could also put those brakes on here, but they require some shims and a little mod, but something simple as bolt on definitely checks the boxes, and as cheap as this is in the junkyard, I definitely recommend going for it. Quick suggestion I do recommend, get all the hardware and everything from the donor vehicle. Just makes it a lot easier. And if you're familiar with doing brakes on this vehicle, then brakes are really simple, probably the easiest vehicle I've ever done. So very happy with it. Nice easy upgrade with no modding. Checks the boxes, boxes are good. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.